The winter wind howled outside, sending shivers down my spine as I huddled on the living room couch, wrapped in a thick blanket. My parents had left for a weekend getaway, entrusting me, Jenny, with the responsibility of taking care of our suburban home. The solitude felt eerie, magnified by the creaks and groans of the old house settling against the bitter cold. The darkness outside seemed impenetrable, a black canvas painted with the glow of distant streetlights. I tried to shake off the unease that gripped me, convincing myself that it was just my imagination playing tricks in the empty spaces between the walls. The first night passed without incident, and I busied myself with mundane tasks to drown out the silence. But as the hours ticked away, a growing sense of isolation crept over me, like an invisible hand tightening its grip. The television became my only companion, its flickering light casting long shadows that danced across the empty rooms. The second day arrived, bringing with it a heavy snowfall that blanketed the neighborhood in a pristine white. I gazed out the window, captivated by the serene beauty that masked the underlying unease. The snow seemed to muffle the world outside, amplifying the hollowness within. By midday, the chill had seeped into the house, making it feel colder than ever. I cranked up the thermostat, hoping to warm not only the temperature, but also my frayed nerves. As I settled back into the couch, a peculiar sound echoed through the hallway, an unmistakable footstep. My heart skipped a beat, and I strained my ears, attributing it to the house's settling. But the steps persisted, deliberate and purposeful. Panic set in, and I fumbled for my phone, contemplating whether to call the police or my parents. The decision was made for me when the power abruptly went out, plunging the house into complete darkness. I clutched my phone, its feeble glow my only source of light. I tiptoed through the inky blackness, guided by the dim illumination of my phone. The air felt charged with an unseen presence, and my breath caught in my throat as I reached the hallway. The steps had ceased, replaced by an eerie silence that seemed to envelop the entire house. The darkness seemed to play tricks on my mind as I navigated through the maze of rooms. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, my every move observed by unseen eyes. As I approached the staircase, a sudden gust of wind slammed the front door shut, causing me to jump. I stood frozen, straining to hear any indication of an intruder. Silence hung in the air like a heavy fog, broken only by the distant wail of the wind outside. I mustered the courage to ascend the staircase, the wooden steps groaning beneath my weight. The second floor loomed before me, an unexplored territory cloaked in darkness. I fumbled my way to my parents' room, seeking solace in familiarity. The door creaked open, revealing a room bathed in an eerie blue glow, the soft light of the moon reflecting off the snow outside. My eyes scanned the room, searching for any signs of disturbance. The closet door swung open slowly, revealing a void of darkness within. My heart pounded in my chest as I approached, expecting the worst. To my relief, there was nothing amiss, and I chided myself for succumbing to irrational fear. Perhaps it was just my imagination running wild in the face of solitude. I decided to retreat to my room, the anticipation of sleep providing a temporary respite from the mounting tension. But as I reached the top of the stairs, I froze. The unmistakable sound of hushed whispers drifted through the still air, echoing from the end of the hallway. A chill ran down my spine, and I strained to make out the words. The whispers grew louder, yet their meaning remained elusive. elusive. Fear propelled me forward, inch by agonizing inch, until I stood before the closed door at the end of the hallway, the guest room. With trembling hands, I turned the doorknob and pushed the door open. The room was empty, bathed in the same ethereal moonlight that seeped through the curtains. I scanned the room, searching for any sign of the source of the whispers. Just as I was about to dismiss it as a figment of my imagination, a sudden movement caught my eye, a shadow slinking along the edges of the room. Panic seized me, and I stumbled backward, my phone slipping from my grasp and clattering to the floor. The whispers escalated into hushed giggles, sending a wave of terror through me. I scrambled to retrieve my phone, the pale light revealing the empty room once more. But the giggles persisted, now emanating from the closet. Summoning every ounce of courage, I approached the closet and flung the door open. A breath caught in my throat as my eyes fell upon a sight that chilled me to the core. A collection of old dolls, their lifeless eyes staring back at me. The whispers ceased abruptly, replaced by an oppressive silence. I felt a presence behind me, a cold breath on the back of my neck. I spun around, my eyes widening in horror as the dolls' lifeless gazes seemed to follow my every move. In that moment, the room felt charged with a malevolent energy, and I realized I was not alone. The walls seemed to close in around me, and the air grew thick with an otherworldly presence. I stumbled backward, my hands clamoring for the doorknob. As the door swung shut behind me, the whispers returned, now echoing through the hallway with an unsettling intensity. I fled down the stairs, the darkness below swallowing me whole. The front door loomed before me, a gateway to escape the haunted confines of my home. With a burst of adrenaline, I flung the door open and stumbled into the frigid night. The snow crunched beneath my feet as I sprinted through the desolate streets, the echo of the whispers lingering in the air. I dared not look back, fearing what unseen entities might pursue me. I reached the safety of a neighbor's house, gasping for breath and recounting the harrowing events that had unfolded within the walls of my home. The police were called, and they conducted a thorough search, finding nothing out of the ordinary. The dolls in the guest room were dismissed as mere decorations, and the whispers were attributed to the wind playing tricks on my mind. But as I stood there, wrapped in a borrowed blanket and surrounded by concerned neighbors, I couldn't shake the feeling that something lingered in the shadows of that house. A malevolent force that thrived in the solitude of the winter night.